Hello everyone, this is Ross from retrodreambeam. I'm an eBay seller full-time. I've been doing this with my fiance Netta for more than 3 years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm about to go into what we're shipping out today. I want to say eBay's still going pretty strong. All right, first up is this Better Paint Incorporated. This is going to be like a tchotchke key ring, little keychain that we find at like estate sales and little auctions. You can get like big baggies. And then if you have like the right brand that someone maybe remembers this company and they want to pick it up or they just like how it looks, I like this category, like the pins, like just the little small tchotchkes, like the stuff you find in like drawers and stuff at estate sales. This ended up going for $10.50 plus shipping. Everything's going to be plus shipping. All right. And I had another one, so I re-listed another one when I was at the storage unit. I should have actually had listed them both in case if the person who found this wanted two of them. So you live and you learn. All right. Next up is going to be Medal of Honor Spearhead expansion pack right here. I know people like the shooter games. I'm not like a big shooter game person for the PC games. I only played like Halo 2 and 3 and stuff like that, Borderlands. But yeah, I know a lot of people like this category or this like particular genre, and a lot of people like the Medal of Honor stuff. So yeah, this still has the manual, the CD. It's a smaller box. It's not the big box. Big boxes usually go for more. This one for $10, which is pretty good. All right, next up is going to be a Warhammer Fantasy. This is going to be like a Fallen Giant. These little accessory terrain pieces would come in like starter sets and these big boxes, and people use them, for various things like, cover or maybe a block's charges and stuff. I've only played Warhammer Fantasy like barely, but basically when I was a kid, I had like a couple of demo games, but that's about it. So basically I haven't really played it, but yeah, this is like a cool little see-through Fallen Giant piece that you put down there. You can also paint it if you want. This ended up going for $14.69. This is going to a repeat buyer. All right. Moving along, we have a combo order. This is going to be Netrunner. This is going to be the card game, living card game by Fantasy Flight Games. It's not around anymore, but fans still make stuff to this day. These are going to be alternate art promo cards. You would get these by going to tournaments and winning first, second, and third place. It's just like your little character, but there's more art to it. And people, that's the best thing about cards is art. And sometimes, the text, like in Magic, it will cover up a lot of the art. And then they'll make these extra versions where you get more of the art. So we have, this is Omar Kanung right here. He is going to be, I forgot what faction it is. It's been a while. Maybe the criminal faction. Yeah, I'm just going to say the criminal faction right there. You have to pick a character as a runner, as your hacker, and then Sonny LeBeau right here is a neutral one. So I just put them both in the penny sleeve. So it's these two characters. I think they paid at separate times, but for one of them they paid $4.89, and then the other one they paid, I guess it's way down there. So probably around like 10 or 11 bucks for these two together. We'll get to the price when I run across it on my screen. All right. Next up is Anthropology, which is like a more expensive clothing store. You've seen us sell like the reusable bags or the shopping bags. This is like an actual bag for them. I can't really describe this. Clothes is not my category. I think Annetta listed this one, but it feels really soft. Like it feels like a good quality one. $16.66 for this one. So I let Annetta handle it. I can't do clothes. I know a lot of people do clothes. It's very easy for people. It's like the hardest category for me, period. Not even clothes. I can list anything but like clothes. All right. Next up is going to be Crosswords Lexicon. This is just going to be like from the 60s, I believe, just a little crossword game. I like to come across the boxes. I can tell like at this point, or this one's 1952, so it's even earlier than the 60s. But yeah, I'll pick up these games. Sometimes the vintage games can go for a lot more. We sold like expensive antique board games before we were filming for like $100 to $200, like really old ones from like the early 1900s. But yeah, this one went for $11.02, which is pretty good for one of these small family games. It's by Parker Brothers. They've been around for a long time. All right, next up is going to be a little D&D book right here. This is going to be a sample edition. Or no, yeah, this is like an art book. So Dungeons and Dragons. This is just an art book right here. So it has a lot of cool art. I think this is from 2018. I think it says on the back here. But yeah, people like the art for D&D. All D&D stuff's pretty good. People collect it and use it and run the adventures and the modules. This one went for $15. All right, moving along, we have Warhammer 40K and fantasy bits and pieces. You see me keep constantly selling these. I'm still selling them to the day. I also think I accepted an offer on the way home from the storage unit, so I'm going to have another one for tomorrow to talk about. But yeah, I just did I got this big box for like $100 and I laid out a bunch of pieces at a time. Just kept making listings until the box was empty. But yeah, this one was just labeled 125 right over there. But yeah, this one I'm going for $14.69. I have offers on, so I just, look at the offer and I accept it if it seems like a good price. All right, moving along, we have 100 AEG Clan War cards right here. These are some kind of Texas cards. I just listed these. Maybe they were worth more. Maybe someone had like their little search features saved on these. But yeah, this is going to be Clan Wars. Going to be Legend of the Five Rings, which is that samurai card game. But they also do role-playing games. This is Clan Wars, their miniature game, and these are some cards from like a set from it. So I actually had a hard time looking up exactly where these were from. I know I had the Clan Word to go off of, so I know what that was, but I couldn't really find anyone that had exactly these cards. But yeah, $19.59 right there. I just listed these. I think it was yesterday or the day before. Always good to sell something right away. I'm not the type of person that thinks that I undersold something if it's sold right away. Like I said, someone might have a search on it, or I'm happy. Like I got my asking price. I had offers on for that one, and I got what I was asking for. You can't complain at that point. All right. I guess next time if I get more, I'll see if I can list them for higher, and then you learn. All right. Moving along, we have Warhammer 40k Necron Wraith. This is going to be 3 sprues. These are incomplete. They were only missing like 2 pieces on one sprue and 1 piece each on the other 2 sprues, so they're relatively complete. I like getting bits and pieces. This was from like an auction lot that I got where not too many people bid on. People at auctions, they don't really care about the bits and pieces, I guess. Well, I guess when you're at auctions, you can actually bid on full-fledged, painted figures and good stuff, so they want to save their money for that. Not everyone at auctions there to flip stuff. This ended up going for $26 for these bits and pieces. I had them listed for higher, but then the person gave me a message, and then they kind of said like, oh, hey, like this is what a brand new one would cost, so this is why I'm sending you this offer. I'm like, oh, that's reasonable. Normally, I ignore most messages. I know what I want to get for something, but when someone has like a really good reason based off of like the market and where stuff lands and why I should accept an offer, I do. It's rare. Usually just people send offers without messages, and then, we go back and forth with counters, or we just accept it and go from there. All right, next up is going to be Flames of War dice. These come in, I think, bigger packs. So this is going to be black dice with red as their pips, and then they have a little tank right here for the 6 instead of, across from the 1 right there. It's only 5 of these. I know that these are supposed to come in bigger sets. These end up going for $16 for just the 5. So some of the Flames of War stuff, which is a World War II miniature game, super popular. A lot of people like it. These are the official like dice. There's different colors for different sets and factions and stuff like that. All right, moving along, we have a Dungeons and TSR 1989 Gazetteer, the Golden Khan of Ethangar. This is going to be a really cool map. I got really lucky. I got a bunch of these D&D map pieces for free. These are things that would come in like starter sets or modules or like the boxes for role-playing games. And this particular map was super cool. It has like a hex grid, so you can use it as a dungeon master. It also shows all of like the places and the names, and there's some like lore down here with like characters and bows, and this is a double-sided map. This is going international for $50. So like I said, D&D stuff is super good. Remember, I was super excited. The person gave me these for free. I said, are you sure? I'll pay you for them. They're like, nah, you can just have them. All right. Next up, I got lucky with that. That happens once in a while. This I also listed recently, Dawn of the Empire. I was actually thinking about keeping this. This is by AEG. Dawn of the Empire was going to be a Legend of the Five Rings. So just like the Clan War was the miniature game, this was the card game. They made a set called Dawn of the Empire, whereas this box set, you got enough cards to make enough cards for deck building. So if it was like a common card or a card you have 3 of in your deck, you get 3, and it came with a binder. It's really expensive. The whole thing complete. This is a storybook with a bunch of lore. Like I told everyone before, Legend of the Five Rings. So the reason why a lot of people like the game is there's like actual stories. You can read the flavor text on the cards and the story of all of the different clans and the empire and all the characters. It's like a pretty in-depth lore game. This game's been around and across different variations and companies that have made the cards and RPGs and miniature games. But this is a booklet. It's like 100 pages. Oh no, my cat's knocking down stuff. But yeah, this ended up going for $10. I was thinking about just reading it myself, but then I was like, oh well, it might be like a story in the middle of no other story, so I might not know what's going on. But it's okay. I just listed it. Someone wants it. It's going international, so that they wanted to read it themselves without buying the big box set. All right, next up is going to be the Uncharted. Yeah, Seas right here. This is going to be a naval miniature game. Super cool one. It has cool art. It has all like the little stats and the rules to play in the game in there, and some pictures as well. And then there's like this like little reference sheet right here that people like, so that after you read the rules, you can still have some of the little rules here on a sheet, so you don't have to dig into a rule book when you're in the middle of playing a miniature game. This ended up going for $10.50 for this. All right, moving along, the World of Wall Street right here. This is going to be NBC. This is a Hasbro game, so this is not a bookcase game. I like to get these vintage board games that kind of look like this. They look like a bookcase game, or they look pretty well on display, as well as they're pretty fun to play. I haven't played too many of them. We sold a bunch of one called Stocks and Bonds. I haven't seen the World of Wall Street one before, but yeah, anytime they have like a decent enough cover, I'll look into it and pick them up if they're cheap enough. $10 for this one. All right, moving along, we have this, another board game, Bloodsucker, right here. I haven't played this one. I don't know too much. It looks like it has a board and a bunch of cards right here. Looks like some kind of like deck builder. Actually, it doesn't look like there's like a main board. It just looks like there's like a purchasing board and like some points on the side. Some kind of vampire game. Oh, I had the I hit the bottom on the wrong way. But yeah, I'll pick up random games as long as they're cheap enough. This is by Fireside Games. Haven't heard of them before. This just looks like it's like decent art here on the front. Nothing too special. This one ended up going for $10. Like I said, I haven't played that one. There's like another vampire game, and I forgot who made it that I have to give a try. I think you're playing vampires, and it's a deck builder game where you have to, and it's kind of like cartoonish, like it's not like super serious, but you have to go into the village and suck people's blood to make sure you live enough, and then you come back and you try to get more points than the other people playing vampires. So it's supposed to be similar to the Clank game that I play. I can't think of the name right now. I want to say Richard Garfield was one of the designers of it, and he was the one who did Magic the Gathering. All right, I just ran across the other card because they paid at 2 separate times. So they paid $7 for the LeBeau card, the Netrunner card, and then the other one was like $4.69. So they paid $11.69 for the 2 cards. So my estimate of around $11 is correct. Last item for the day right here is going to be a bunch of these GHQ tanks. These are without the turrets. It's just a bunch of hulls. These were actually like the loose bits and pieces I had after I had got these huge box of all these turret pieces and the hulls. It was kind of overwhelming. I think I did a video about it, and then I organized everything and I put like the similar tank hulls together, similar tank turrets together, and I've had people been buying them since I've listed them a long time ago. I had a couple hundred listings similar to like the Warhammer parts. But yeah, these were like the rest of the tanks. I just kind of did a lot of 44. These end up going for $22.04. That's everything. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Have a good one.